I mean, B, these Thursday games, we all can realize, like, they're clunky. You heard Shanahan talking about, prepping for the game. It's like we come out of this meeting, it's Wednesday. We get out on the field, it's Thursday. Then once practice is over, it's Friday. And it looked like that. I mean, they look like a team that didn't have the normal prep. Like, when I look at the Niners, attention to detail has been one of their hallmarks. And they just didn't have that. I don't think Purdy was at his best at times in the first half, but there's just something about this guy. When he's backpedaling and there's a guy in his face, he just throws beautiful dimes toward the sideline. The Ronnie Bell touchdown, the George Kittle throw across the over the field to the sideline, and then the Deebo Samuel touchdown at the end. The little back shoulder throw, whether he intended it to be so perfectly thrown or not, that was an absolute dime, and that was to shut up all the deep ball haters of Brock Purdy. They suffocated them on defense, and I'll say right now, Javon Hargrave was outstanding in this game. I'm watching it back this morning, and I'm telling the boys, the first couple of drives, he's in the backfield on every single play.
I thought he was going to end up with 3 sacks yesterday. I mean, this defensive line was hunting. Of course, the Giants were missing 2 of their offensive linemen, including Andrew Thomas at left tackle. Javon Hargrave has been a very good signing so far. He was hunting. Bosa should have got credited for a safety.
Agreed.
I have no idea what happened there with the referees, but it looked like a safety to me. So this defensive line was getting after it, and the Giants don't have weapons. I think Darren Waller, he dropped a couple. It didn't look good, but the Niners had answers for him, whether it was Isaiah Oliver, who put together another solid performance,
right?
Talanoa Hufanga, who put together another solid performance. I thought Tayshaun Gibson tackled well. So this defense, they knew what they had to do. Even when it was 17-12, there's not one moment in that football game where I thought the 49ers were losing.
Totally agree.
I was like, just how much are they going to cover, or are they going to eke out of here? That's all I thought.
They had the ball twice as long.
Yeah.
40 minutes to 20 minutes.
Yeah. And
then I look at the yardage, and it's like at no point in that game, even at the end of the first half when Daniel Jones is throwing for a bunch of hollow yards just to get a field goal, they never looked like they had anything going offensively. They never looked like they had any answers defensively. And even though the Niners, I think they did miss Ayuk. That was clear, and we could talk about that.
Yeah,
I think it was a very important game for the, Brandon Ayuk is important crowd, which you are correct.
Right, he is.
But at no point did I ever feel like they had lost control or they weren't in complete domination of this game. 440 yards to 150.
Right. And they did not play well. They're scoring 30 points a game, folks.
Well.
And they're not even clicking offensively.
I know.
Pittsburgh, again, after McCaffrey had the 65-yard touchdown run, they shut it down. Against the Rams, okay, you get the 30. Mm-hmm. At times, you're a little clunky. Of course, Brock Purdy missed the 2 deep throws that everybody was basically harping on. And then yesterday, you score 30, and you left a lot on the table. Shanahan will play some of this out. He talked about it. We should have scored more. They're not clicking yet, which I don't have a problem with. I don't want this team peaking in September.
I'm with you.
I want them peaking in December and January.
Yeah.
Right now, they're figuring out what's working. What we know is this. And our YouTube poll question of the day: who had the best game on offense? There's no doubt in my mind. It's all-pro Deebo Samuel. He's back to his 2021 form. All-pro Deebo with the back shoulder touchdown catch at the end to make it 30-12. The quick wide receiver screen off 3rd and long that he breaks for a first down. I mean, Deebo's doing it all right now. He took his offseason very seriously.
Yes.
He told Shanahan that. He told the whole world that I'm going to get in a better shape. I'm going to be ready to go for training camp. And from day one in training camp to what we're seeing now, we're seeing the effects of that offseason of Deebo Samuel. He's paying like a guy who's playing in the contract year. Is it Ayuk in the contract year, or is it Deebo? Because Deebo right now is playing at a high level, and he looks to be back at that all-pro form.
He does, and no one would say that separation and route running are his strengths. It's toughness and physicality and just playmaking once the ball's in his hands. You referenced that screen pass on 3rd and long. They went trips on the left, CMC out to the right. CMC runs just a little turn, like he's going to get a screen, and it puts pressure on everyone on that right side to at least honor that. And then they flip back and throw over to the Deebo side. Great blocking by Ronnie Bell. Great blocking by Jennings. Banks is getting out in space.
Yeah.
And then Deebo pops one. It's like, okay, here we go.
Right.
And he made a couple of really physical after-the-catch runs after contact. I thought the New York Giants, no one wants to give credit to them. Their DBs made plays on the ball. I thought their DBs were in good positions, but were also seeing the field really well in this game.
Well, the Niners were going short. They had to get the ball out quick because the Giants blitzed on 33 of 39 Brock Purdy dropbacks. 33 times they blitzed. As Shanahan talked about it in his post-game presser, cover 0 blitzes. We had to get the ball out fast, which is why you saw a lot of screens,
yes,
a lot of quick throws, a lot of quick sleds. And look, early on that first drive, it was a freaking roller coaster for Brock Purdy.
You think?
It's the first time I said, "Oh no, oh no."
Which one was it? The Kittle?
Oh no,
the Kittle bat down.
I mean, even the quick select that Deebo Samuel
was behind
him, but also he was leading Deebo to two other defenders.
Medicine ball.
So it was like on that drive alone. It reminded me a little about Jimmy G. It's like, oh no, Brock, what's going on here? Oh my gosh, he's missing Ayuk, but he settled down, got the ball out quick, and I think, and I'm looking here at the 510 Xfinity mobile text side. Shout out to the O-line for handling the blitz.
I thought so too.
I thought the offensive line played really well. I thought Burford may have had his best game of the season. This offensive line handled the blitz. Brock Purdy got the ball out fast, and as you know, the yak after he got the ball out of his hands. These Yak boys got over 200 yards of Yak here yesterday. So, look, they handled the blitz. It's a very, very aggressive screen by Wink Martindale. We talked about it.
Right.
What's going to happen here? Is he going to sit all the dogs, knowing that McKivitz and Burford have kind of been the weak links? Well, he sit the dogs all night long. And they really didn't affect the 49ers whatsoever. And to have a short week to get prepared for that scheme, it still dropped 30 on them. I'm not mad this morning, folks.
No.
I'm not mad at all. The Niners are 3-0.
And look, I'm rewatching the game and watching it in real time. I underestimated how good Brock Purdy is. We talk so much about arm strength. When there's a guy in his face and he has to make a back pedal throw, you know what I'm talking about? Where you have to put a little mustard on it, throw a touch ball to the sideline, and you know you're going to get splattered in the face mask.
Yep.
He had the one to Kittle on the sideline. He had the one to Ronnie Bell in the red zone. He had the obvious dime to Debo. He had another one to Jennings. He had another one to Debo on a slant. We could talk about some of the telegraph passes, and they weren't great. And he's got to clean that up.
If that's his worst game, he threw for 310 yards.
Well, he had 5 dimes. I had dimes. I'm talking about dimes. Plays where that's a high-caliber NFL throw with a guy in your face, and you have to hit a guy and give great ball placement. Dimes. The touchdown to Debo. Are you kidding me at the end?
Back shoulder throw, just like Brandon Ayuk. And that's the thing that I like about him. And I like about any quarterback.
Toughness.
It's not just toughness. It's giving your playmakers a chance to make a play.
I agree.
And we've seen that in San Francisco for so long where these quarterbacks sometimes, it's like, I never get over the Crabtree quote from the 2011 NFC Championship game when Alex Smith targeted him maybe 2 or 3 times. And Crabtree said, sometimes you got to let your playmakers just make plays and
100%.
trust them. And that's the thing with Brock Purdy. He trusts his guys, whether it's McCaffrey, whether it's Kittle, whether it's Debo, whether it's Brandon Ayuk. And you know what? At times, he trusted Ronnie Bell yesterday. So Brock Purdy just adjusts. Ronnie Bell,
a catch.
Off the bounce. That one?
Well,
oh
that
my
one,
gosh.
okay. Look, they had a couple of lucky plays. Like, it's okay. You could say it. You got to make the most of your plays. When Steve Young threw a ball off someone's back shoulder and then went and caught it, that's part lucky play, part, You got great instincts and you make the most of a ball up in the air. Right. Ronnie Bell did that. I was talking about the Ronnie Bell touchdown.
Yeah, no, the touchdown was great.
That was a physical play.
The touchdown was great. I like Ronnie Bell, man. I know he had a couple big drops in the preseason, but he also had a lot of big catches.
Right.
This guy, right away, I was like, Danny Gray?
Danny Gray's an afterthought.
He's not even in the fact. He's not even in the equation. Yeah. He's not. He just isn't. Ronnie Bell is that dude from Michigan.
You called that.
So right. I like Ronnie Bell.
I know.
Right
Day
away,
one.
man. And you know what? I ran into Mo Money in Big Dog City yesterday. And Mo Money goes, it's good to have a number 10 who can actually catch. I said, why would you even bring that up? Why would you even bring that up? Because there's been a litany of poor guys.
Bruce Ellington?
Were number 10. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's been some bad guys.
Kyle Williams.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say his name. Was not going to say his name.
Well, the other thing that I came away from this game was that CMC's such a monster. I mean, what a great player this guy is. Look, the Leonard Williams pass interference, or not pass, roughing the passer. Personally, I think that's just football. It's 3rd and 13. He throws a check down to Kittle. Do I understand why they call that in the league?
Niners got some breaks yesterday.
That was a big break. But you know what they did on the very next play? Scored a touchdown with CMC right up the gut. All right, you got to make the most of your opportunities. The Kittle little kind of hit by Thibodeau.
They called it illegal contact or defensive holding.
I thought it was iffy.
There was 2 calls on that drive.
I thought it was iffy.
Just like, oh.
And we could talk about, honestly, their red zone efficiency needs to be better over the year, and they got to work on those things.
Right.
I'd like to see them split Kittle out a little more and try to utilize him as a high pointer.
But I knew it'd be tough to score this football game.
Thursday game.
No Brandon Ayuk. They're going to focus on George Kittle. They're going to focus on Deebo Samuel. They're going to say, go beat Ronnie. Hey, Ronnie Bell, Ray McLeod, beat us 101.
Exactly.
Right now, they're not there. And that's okay. That's okay. You drop 30. You figure out a way to win a football game. A short week, you knew it wasn't going to be pretty. And you shut them down for the most part. You make them one-dimensional. But look, overall, you have Brock Purdy attempt 37 passes. He gets sacked on 2 of them. He gets the ball out quick. No interceptions at the end of the day. Were there some no throws? Sure. But he got better as the game went along. And everybody's been begging for George Kittle, right? When are we going to get George Kittle
involved? I thought
involved?
he was good.
George Kittle, 7 catches, 90 yards.
Yeah, I thought he was good.
So there's your George Kittle. He's going to be a factor in this offense. Again,
I agree.
It is pick your poison for this opponent, which is why before the season I said, why can't this be the most dynamic offense we've had since 1998? Maybe even 1994.
I mean, if this is their B game,
this may have been their C game.
Okay, fine.
This may have been their C game.
Well, their defense, I thought, held up and did everything that they needed to do.
Offensively, their C game.
Offensively, yes, I agree with you. I would agree with you. B, they put in Eli Mitchell in the second drive, and I was thinking to myself, all right, I like this. I like this idea. And he started off slow. He had one on the little gun run where he came out to the right, and you could see the legs going. I'm going, all right, now he's feeling good about himself. And then a couple plays later, little slip screen to McCaffrey on 3rd and 13. He's got fresher legs. He's got a little more wiggle, a little more juice. I mean, look, they also split out CMC a couple of times, and I'm saying to myself, that's what I want to see.
Well, they've been splitting him out a lot this season. He's always lined up in the slot. 408 here on the Xfinity Mobile text line. Let's not forget about the dart to McCaffrey, but it was dropped right there at the pylon. It wasn't dart. It wasn't dart.
Yeah.
Look, McCaffrey, it was well defended, no doubt about that, but McCaffrey put his hands on it, and I seen him right away. It was right in front of my section. Just kind of clapped his head saying, I got to come up with that. But overall, 18 carries, 85 yards. You got a dose of Eli Mitchell, 11 carries, 42 yards for him. So the run game, turned out 141 yards. McCaffrey in the pass game, 5 catches, 34 yards. You got, of course, Deebo Samuel with the 6 catches and 129 yards. This team is going to hum. This team has problems. This team, for opponents, I should say, opposing defenses has problems on their hands because, look, Wink Martindale loves to blitz. Shanahan and company on a short week said, we know they love the blitz. We're going to call a lot of screens, a lot of slants, a lot of out routes, and just get the damn ball out fast on a short week and let our dudes do what they do. And that's the whole point of this offense. Get the ball to Deebo, Kittle, McCaffrey, and Ayuk, and get the heck out of the way and let them do what they do with the ball in their hands. Again, make the ordinary play. I love that word now. Make the ordinary play. And you got a quarterback, folks. 888-957-9570. You have a quarterback who knows how to make the ordinary play, and he's going to put this team in a position to score a lot of points this season.
You've seen now multiple first-round picks in the first couple of weeks. Kenny Pickett, recent ones. Daniel Jones. Look, I know Brock isn't playing against them. He's playing against their defense. He has outplayed all these guys. It's not even close. Just the eye test. Watch the game. Is he flawless? No. He does so many great things to love, and the composure, lining the team up properly. And do you see the way the guys fight for him? Trent Williams was getting into it with Ashawn Robinson. Now, I know there was a lot going on that O-line, but in particular, they were defending Purdy on one play, and I said, look at how these guys are defending this guy. Look at how Burford and Banks are elbowing dudes as they're going back to the huddle for their quarterback because guys are trying to, give the business to Purdy. The guy can't be rattled.
No, he can't be. He can't be. He's in total command of this offense. This offense is about to hum 30-30-30. That's what they scored this season. 30-30-30.
You called that.
Is it a 30 for 30? Is it an ESPN special?
It's Purdy for 30.
It's Purdy for 30. All right, it's offense for 30. Purdy for 30. I'm with it. I'm with it all. This defense, by the way, keep Daniel Jones. The poor New York Giants. As a fan of the Niners, I'm looking at their offense. I said, why don't you test them down the field?
But they don't have any weapons.
I get it.
How did the rookie not play?
I just let them do something.
I know.
22 and 32, 137 yards. Everything was underneath. Everything was. But I kind of get it. But still, I wanted to see him take some shots at this Niners defense. Without those 2 guards, without your left guard and left tackle.
They're done.
Daniel Jones is 1-2.
Dude.
Let me hurry up and get the ball out.
When you watch it back, because I know you were at the game yesterday, Javon Hargrave was amazing. And then Cleve Farrell was getting pressure. Drake Jackson was getting pressure. I know Bosa only had the 1 sack. He came up big on the 2-point conversion. Him and Armstead just collapsing the pocket. Daniel Jones had no time to throw. And, one of the guys that as I was watching in real time last night, I'm sitting there and going, Gibson's so underrated.
Right.
He's so underrated.
Deshaun Gibson's a sure tackler.
Very underrated.
I got no problems with the safeties.
Very underrated.
You know, I was on a call yesterday with Edmonton.
Oh, yeah?
And they had me, and they said, what's the biggest concern? It's the quarterback spot. But you know what? Yesterday, I thought the quarterbacks held up well.
I did too.
But the safety spot, I mean, Jair Brown can't touch the field right now because Hufanga and Gibson is playing at such a high level.
I don't think we talk enough about Gibson. There's a lot of stars on this team. I just think he's really underrated. I don't know if he's a Pro Bowler or anything like that, but I don't think it matters. He's just really, really good. And his communication pre-snap, you could just see it all around. And then Dre Greenlaw. Look, I know Dre Greenlaw toes the line.
He does.
And it's the only way I can describe it. He closed out on Daniel Jones on a play. The pocket collapses, and Daniel Jones has got good legs. And he goes scrambling out to the left, and Dre Greenlaw just comes flying in. And then he's banging his helmet with his hands. And I'm saying, that man's a psychopath, and I love him. I love him on the Niners.
He is. Steve Wilks so far. Look, Steve Wilks so far this season, his defense has given up 7. They made the second half adjustments against the Rams. They gave up 6 in the second half. Yesterday, they gave up 12. I'm seeing some people on YouTube complaining about Steve Wilks. What the hell are you complaining about? They did what they had to do, and they kept the New York Giants off the football field.
They had one pass interference by Diamondor Lenore on an underthrown ball from Daniel Jones to Waller, and that's a tough matchup. Waller's a big dude. And then on the next play, they get the Breida touchdown. Okay, they got a 35-yard pass interference that set up. They were going to score nothing but field goals yesterday.
That's it.
And on a short rest, I don't know. I just think, and like even my wife says, well, the Cowboys did blow this team out. I go, Michelle, it's 3 days.
Well, you start seeing that, and it tells me, and I'm not coming at Michelle like this.
No, but I think it's a lot of people say that.
But a couple of people, man, the Cowboys beat up 40-0. Don't do the like for like. Let's not. They
had all offseason to prepare for that game.
Let's not be dense. The Niners handled the Giants, just like the Cowboys handled the Giants.
They suffocated them. There was no place to be had for the Giants. At no point did I fear them.